I'm Rachel Hernandez, real estate investor turned mobile home investor and best-selling author. I make a living investing in mobile homes for cash flow for long-term passive income. After many mistakes and lessons learned, I've been able to create the kind of life where I can do the types of things I want to do, not have to do. I created the Adventures in Mobile Homes podcast to share with you what I've learned so you can spend more time with family, friends, and do things you love. Mobile home investing can help you get there. If you want to hear real stories with practical and actionable advice you can use from someone who's been in the trenches and who's still investing today to create the type of life you love, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Well, hey there, and welcome to the Adventures in Mobile Homes podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of AdventuresInMobileHomes.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on the 11th episode of the podcast. Now, just in case you missed it, be sure to tune in to the last episode where I talk about the differences between small parks versus big parks when it comes to your mobile home investing business. You can find it along with the show notes at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/10. And that is the number 10. Okay, so let's get started. So last week, I talked about the differences between small parks versus large parks when it comes to the types of parks you choose to invest in as a mobile home investor. And quite honestly, the types of parks that you decide to work in, whether they be big or small, it really depends on your personality. But today, I want to talk about the importance of building your team and the steps you can take to build your team for your mobile home investing business. Because to be successful in this business, like any other business, it requires having the right team members helping you out. It's not a one-man or a one-woman show. You need a team to be successful. So today, I'm going to talk about how to build your team and the different types of team members you should have to help you as a mobile home investor, and why these team members are specific to the mobile home investing business. Because you just can't hire anyone to make it as a mobile home investor. But before we move on, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Hey there, Rachel here. Are you interested in mobile home investing? If yes, I've got a free mobile home investing course for you. It's called What You Need to Know to Get Started in Mobile Home Investing. It details all the ins and outs of what you need to know before you get started as a mobile home investor. With so much information out there, it's overwhelming to go out and search for what you're looking for. So I put my knowledge and expertise in mobile home investing to work. And it's all in this free training course. You can find it at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/free training class. Again, www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/free training class. Grab your seat and get started today. Now, back to the show. Okay, So, when you're just starting out as a mobile home investor, how exactly do you build your team in the first place? What are the team members that you need to have on your side? And where do you find them? Well, first things first. Before you go out and start looking for deals in mobile home parks, you must have your team together. The last thing that you want is to find a great deal, whether it be in a park or on a piece of land where you have to move the mobile home only to find yourself scrambling at the last minute for team members to help you, depending on the areas you need help with. This is the last thing you want and the worst position to be in. Unfortunately, I see this all the time, especially with new investors. They're more focused on finding deals. But when it comes time to close the deal, and or even worse, they already bought the property, then they're scrambling to find people to help them, whether it be needing help fixing up the place, moving the home, marketing the home, etc., etc. And guess what? They made a mistake of not having their team lined up beforehand, before they find the deal and put it together, which costs them more time and more money because they're in a rush. And most times, they'll just hire anyone who can help them out right away. Now, this is good news for the people getting hired despite their experience. They might not even know what they're doing. But it's bad news for the investor. Why? Because usually these investors, they end up hiring the wrong people for the job. Unfortunately, this happens more often than not. Now, I've done the same thing in the past, and I have paid for my mistakes in both time and money. Don't let this happen to you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So before you even start looking for deals as a mobile home investor, you need to have your team in place. But where do you begin? Who are the team members that you need in order to be a successful mobile home investor? Well, let's start out with the basics. As I mentioned in episode 8 of this podcast, where I discuss how to talk to park managers and owners, the park managers and or the owners of these parks are essential team members for your mobile home investing business. Without the park manager and or the owner's approval that you can do business in their park, you really won't get anywhere as a mobile home investor. So you're going to have to learn how to talk to these people and build relationships, long-lasting ones, which is more of an art than an exact science. but definitely a skill you'll need to learn to be successful in this business. I talk more on how to approach these managers and what things to say in my book, Adventures in Mobile Homes: How I Got Started in Mobile Home Investing and How You Can Too, which I'll link here in the show notes. Next on the list of team members that you need to have for your team as a mobile home investor are contractors to help you fix up the homes when you need it. Yes, I get it. You may be on a budget and you may be planning to do all the work yourself when it comes time to fix up the homes that you buy. But honestly, you can't do everything. There will be some items which are highly specialized, such as roofing, electrical, and you definitely don't want to mess with electricity, plumbing in some cases, and fixing the heating and air conditioning system, which you may not know how to do. Sure, in this day and age, there are videos and articles online on how to repair and/or replace these items. But honestly, your time is better spent on paying people to do the work when it comes to highly specialized skilled labor. Though, it's your choice if you want to go down that road of fixing and/or replacing these items yourself. Again, this all depends on your skill set and comfort level. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on the types of contractors that you need here in this episode, but I will do a future episode on this topic down the road. So hang in there with me. Okay, the next team member you want to have is a good insurance agent, one that specializes in insuring mobile homes. When you're ready to buy, you don't want to buy a home without putting insurance on it. Because you know what? Anything can happen at any time, at any place. So don't leave yourself hanging. Regarding where to find an insurance agent for mobile homes, ask the park manager and/or the owner who you should be talking to on a regular basis anyways. Also, mobile home dealerships are another good source of referrals. And speaking of mobile home dealerships, they're next on my list of team members who should be on your mobile home investing team. So, what can mobile home dealerships do for you as a mobile home investor? Well, mobile home dealerships are in the business of selling new homes. Many times, they get prospective customers who want to buy a new home, but they need to sell their existing home first. Now, this is where you come in. If you have good relationships with mobile home dealerships, then you can take these opportunities. Sometimes the homes are in parks, and sometimes the homes are on pieces of land where you must move them somewhere else. Going back to episode 5, where I talk about learning your market, you should already have a sense of what the home is worth and what it can sell or rent out for. From there, all you need to do is inspect the home and see if it's something that you want to buy in an area where you want to invest in. If the home is on a piece of land and needs to be moved, then you'll have to make arrangements to move the home to another location. Now, as a side note, I don't recommend moving homes as a beginning investor. Try buying a few homes in parks and leaving them there before you decide to move homes. The process of moving homes just complicates things, in my opinion. Get some experience first and make some money before deciding to move homes into other parks. Because it does take some time to move them and cost money. Which brings me to the next people on your mobile home investing team, movers. Now, I'll be honest, mobile home movers come and go. Some stay in the business for a while, but others, they're in business one day, and the next day, they're not in business anymore. Unless a mover has a direct relationship with a mobile home dealership and does it regularly, most of the time, there's just not enough business to make a living as a mobile home mover. That's just my observation and experience dealing with movers. So you'll have to be on the lookout for mobile home movers all the time as you go along in your mobile home investing business. Now, the best way to find them is to just get referrals from the mobile home dealerships and the park managers and/or the owners. Price out their moving services and have a few numbers handy just in case you need them in the future. I won't go into the process of moving mobile homes here as it's pretty involved, though I'll dedicate a whole episode about it in the future. So stay tuned. Next on the list, let's talk about cleaning crews and carpet cleaners. Now, I separate these two from contractors. Cleaning is a whole separate subject when it comes to getting these homes on the market. It's basically the last step I do when the homes have all been fixed up and are ready to go. In the past, I've gone through many cleaning services. And like movers, there's a lot of turnover. Businesses and people come and go. You may have a good one that you use, but then the next time you need them, they're out of business or doing something else. I had this happen to me recently with the woman I used to clean my homes. So basically, I had a home ready to clean before putting it on the market. So I called her. She told me on the phone that she had moved to another state, Oklahoma to be exact. She apologized and wished me well, which was nice. But I was still out of luck with a cleaning person. So always be on the lookout for good cleaning companies to work with. The same thing goes for carpet cleaning companies, which are separate and specialized from cleaning companies that do the homes, as these companies specifically clean carpets. If you plan to save and reuse the carpet, which I've done in the past for homes where the carpet isn't very old. Now, in these cases, they just need a good cleaning, and it looks fine. I learned this trick from a park manager when she told me that was what they did for the homes they had on the market in their park. Okay, so the next team member that you should know when building your network are the people who work for your local government authority in charge of titling mobile homes. Now, depending on your area, this can be your local DMV, since mobile homes can be titled as either personal property, not attached to land, or real property attached to land, or a specific department dedicated to titling and retitling mobile homes. Most of the time, this tends to be regulated by the state. So check with your local area. But the reason why it's important to know these folks working in this office and department is because so you'll know who to go to ask questions when you need help when it comes time to doing the paperwork on these mobile homes. Since it's a government entity, many times these people have been working in that department for years. They know how things get done procedurally, and if you get to know them, they'll be much more likely to want to help you out in the future. Next on the list of team members to help you with your mobile home investing business is a good support network. This can be family, friends, or other real estate investors. Just people who are overly supportive of what you do. Now, I know not everyone is going to support your mobile home investing journey. I mean, come on, let's face it. Mobile homes have a pretty bad stigma, a negative stigma associated with it. So many do tend to look down on them. And sometimes this includes family, friends, and/or even other real estate investors. So seek out those who support you. It's important for your mental well-being and success in this business. Now, speaking of support network, the last team member on your list of people to have on your mobile home investing team in order to be a successful mobile home investor is a mentor. Now, this person can be local if you can find someone nearby, or it can be someone that is not in your area but does have the knowledge and expertise to help you. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a mentor or a coach that can guide you along the way. And if you can't find a mentor in your area and you need additional help, let me know. I do offer mentoring for those who need it. I'll leave a link here in the show notes for you if you need help and want more information. So, these are your basic team members to get started as a mobile home investor. I'll link up an article I wrote titled 10 Important Members of Your Mobile Home Investing Team if you'd like to read more. So there you have it. My advice on what team members you should have on your mobile home investing team and the steps you can take to find them to help you get started as a mobile home investor. Again, it's important to build your team before you go out and look for deals. The last thing you want to do is find a great deal only to find out that you need help in certain areas, like fix-up work, or even worse, you still need to get approval from the park manager and or the owner to do business in that park. Then you're scrambling and may lose out on the deal or hire the wrong people for the job, all because you didn't take the time to build your team beforehand. So take this seriously. Build your team before you start looking for deals as a mobile home investor. And keep interviewing and adding new members to your team. Because you need to have more people in mind ready to call just in case the team members you decide to work with can't do a job for whatever reason in the future. Once you get into the habit of looking for team members to help you with your mobile home investing business as you build your team, it'll make things much easier for you as a mobile home investor. And it will make things flow smoothly when you're ready to go out and look for deals, because you'll know who to call when you need help. And this will get you to success much faster as a mobile home investor. So what did you think? Did this episode help you in getting started as a mobile home investor? I hope so. For more information on this episode, check out the show notes where I link up some of the resources mentioned here. You can find it at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/11. And that is the number 11. Again, www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/11. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to share it with family and friends. And be sure to subscribe. If you have some time, I'd love to hear your feedback through a short Apple Podcast review. Until next time, this is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl, of the Adventures in Mobile Homes podcast, signing off. Thanks for tuning in.